This pro-liberty podcast is brought to you by the Health Ranger Store. Visit healthrangerstore.com/MAGA. That's MAGA, like Make America Great Again. Thank you for your support. I want to be really clear on the record here about what I think about Bobby Kennedy. That's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., head of Children's Health Defense. And I'm Mike Adams, in case you don't know, the Health Ranger, NaturalNews.com. And people have been asking me recently for some reason, I guess because I've been speaking out in favor of Bobby Kennedy's work, and they're shocked, like, I thought you were a conservative and Bobby Kennedy's a Democrat. Why are you saying nice things about him? Well, so the answer is Bobby Kennedy is a treasure for humanity. Bobby Kennedy should be awarded the highest honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom or something. I mean, Bobby Kennedy is someone who I deeply admire. His conviction in pursuing this work to help save children from the toxicity of modern day vaccines that are not safe, but could be made safer, yet that intention is being completely ignored by the pharmaceutical industry. Bobby Kennedy has for a long time been very acutely aware of the toxicity of mercury, both as an environmental pollutant as well as a pollutant in medicine. And he has taken incredible steps and demonstrated remarkable personal courage and fortitude in fighting for the elimination of mercury from medicine and environmental pollutants and so on. So the fact that he is a, quote, Democrat, that doesn't mean anything. Look, I'm not into labels and factions and tribes. And by the way, I'm not a Republican. I don't know why people think that. Look, I'm on team humanity. I'm pro-human. That's it. I'm not part of these tribes. I'm all about humanity, human freedom, protecting life, protecting the environment as well. And I agree with Bobby Kennedy on many, many things. Now, sure, he and I might disagree on climate change and the role of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's fine. We don't have to agree on every single thing. What Bobby Kennedy demonstrates as a person is so rare today that he deserves our support. And he's a deep thinker. He's introspective. He's well-informed. He's a researcher. He studies the issues. He's not like a typical leftist that just says, oh, the world's going to be destroyed in 10 years if we don't ban combustion engines. You know, Bobby Kennedy is not some AOC libtard, you might say. Bobby Kennedy is thoughtful. You can debate with Bobby Kennedy. You can disagree, but still present thoughtful arguments. And that's the way it should be. We can't always agree on every issue, but at least I would hope we could have rational, informed discussions. But most of the radical left today can't even do that. They're gone. Radical leftists like AOC and others, they can't talk about history. They don't know anything about history. They don't know anything about the Constitution. They don't know anything about economics or even ecology for that matter, or atmospheric science or the role of mercury as a pollutant, or how vaccines work or don't work in some cases, medicine, science, anything. I'm telling you, most leftists today are just woefully ignorant of reality. But Bobby Kennedy is not one of those. He is incredibly well-informed. He gives Democrats a good name. He gives me faith in humanity, frankly. And if Bobby Kennedy wanted to have a presentation or a video or a speech about climate change, I would listen to him. I would listen to his arguments. Now, I might refute them, but I would listen to him because he would have a thoughtful approach. And that's what's really remarkable about Bobby Kennedy, his personal courage and also the personal risk that he has taken to speak out against the toxicity of vaccines in an era now that is characterized by such extreme censorship on this issue of vaccines that no one is allowed to question the dogma, the cult of vaccinations. But he dares to stand up and ask those questions, and that's why he's a hero in my book. Now, I'll say something else here that may not meet the approval of Bobby Kennedy, but that's fine. He's not saying this, I am. I believe that Bobby Kennedy knows that not only was his father assassinated by the deep state, but also John F. Kennedy was assassinated by the deep state. I think that Bobby Kennedy knows the truth. That, see, the Kennedys, you go back to the 1960s, JFK. JFK he was kind of like, if I dare say, in a way, the Donald Trump of his time. He was, in many ways, an outsider. He wanted to reform the system. He wanted to see the money cartels, for example, reformed and overthrown, replaced by money of the people, for the people, and by the people. JFK, although he wasn't a perfect man, and no one is, I mean, you know, he had his own issues with women and so on. But JFK, in his heart, he was a man who wanted to give power back to the people. And that, I believe, is why he was killed. And he was murdered by a conspiracy involving deep state operatives, the same kind of deep state operatives that, by the way, murdered Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was taken out by, I believe, the complicity of the FBI, the same corrupt FBI that took part in the JFK assassination cover-up, the same FBI that has been trying to take down President Trump. The corruption of the FBI, the CIA, the intelligence community has been in place for decades, and those intelligence community members or operatives, black hat traitors, have been running a silent cartel of political monopolies inside the United States for decades, for generations. Actually, since the end of World War II, basically. You know, when the United States government gave new passports to Nazi scientists and brought them all over to launch Operation Paperclip so that NASA could successfully launch rockets using Nazi rocket technology. And if you didn't know that, then you don't know history. Just flat out, you don't know it, because that's not even covered up. That's just history books. Operation Paperclip, look it up. So the U.S. space program is built on Nazi science, in case you didn't know. And that's just one of thousands of dark secrets, but hidden truths that I think Bobby Kennedy may be aware of, but he can't talk about them. You see, the Kennedy family has been killed. How many Kennedys have been assassinated? And why? Because, well, they might rise to power again. They might try to represent the people again. How many airplane accidents, quote, accidents, have happened that have killed a Kennedy family member? Well, I mean, I don't know the answer, but it's a lot. It's like 3 or 4 prominent Kennedy family members, some of whom could have become the next president, by the way. Now, this doesn't mean I'm impressed with Ted Kennedy, for example. I have a very low opinion of Ted Kennedy, Senator Ted Kennedy, but that's beside the point. I judge each person individually, and I would hope that people would have the same view of my work, to judge me independently from who I might support or who I might be aligned with politically at the moment. I judge each person individually, and Bobby Kennedy is a shining example of a courageous, truth-telling, open-hearted, open-minded human being, flat out. I mean, and if you are one of those people who says, oh, but he's a Kennedy, that just means you're a bigot, by the way. You can't judge people by their last name. Just because they're part of the Kennedy family doesn't mean automatically that they are the same as, let's say, Ted Kennedy. And by the way, again, JFK himself today would have been considered an outsider. He would have been considered a conservative by today's standards, by the way, a pro-liberty conservative. And that's why he was killed. I'm telling you. The Kennedys have suffered more pain and more destruction and more targeting by the deep state than any family in America's history that I'm aware of, anyway. I mean, even the assaults on Trump today, the lies about Trump, the media propaganda, the slander, the deep state coup attempts, the treason being carried out to try to remove Trump from office. Did you know the Kennedy family has suffered worse? They killed JFK, and then they covered it up. And at that time, the deep state was able to control the media because you did not have my website like Natural News. You didn't have Brighteon.com, the free speech alternative to YouTube. You didn't have the alternative platforms and the independent voices of today's internet. Even with the censorship, the independent voices are still out there if you just type them into your browser. Instead of going to Google or Facebook or Twitter, go to naturalnews.com, for example. Type it in. You can find the truth. It's readily available. You can read books by Jim Marrs, for that matter, and you can learn the truth about American history, including the JFK assassination, come to think of it. He's written extensively on that topic. And if you go into the evidence of the JFK assassination, or even the RFK assassination, the cover-ups are just exhaustive. Look, the bottom line is, there is a very short list of people who I admire. Very short list of people I respect. That list includes people like Ron Paul and Rand Paul, by the way, and not a whole lot of others, but Bobby Kennedy is on that list. And I'm very selective in who I would publicly endorse like this. And it doesn't mean I agree with everything that Bobby Kennedy believes politically or might support politically for the rest of his life. But I tell you what, our world would be a better place if we had more people like Bobby Kennedy. And our children would be safer, and there would be less suffering and pain in the world if we had more people like Bobby Kennedy. And I, even as someone who may disagree with him on climate change and so on, I can coexist with someone like Bobby Kennedy, even if we agree to disagree on certain issues, because he is an honorable, upstanding, pro-human, conscious, aware, alive human being. And he genuinely cares for other human beings like I do. In fact, I think in our hearts, he and I are very much the same. We have different approaches. I get it. We have slightly different politics and so on, but he feels like a kindred spirit to me in his compassion for human beings. And I'm not asking him to endorse me. He could never do that politically. I'm too controversial, but I do endorse his work. And I pray that he is safe, and I pray that he is successful. And we will do everything. My platform, everything that we can do through our new search engine that's coming up, webseed.com. It's a pro-natural health, pro-vaccine truth search engine that's launching. We will do everything to support Children's Health Defense. We will do everything to support his videos and interviews on Brighteon.com and through naturalnews.com and vaccines.news and all the websites that we operate and publish and all the infrastructure that we're building to give people alternatives to find the truth online, even when Google and Twitter and Facebook are censoring the truth. I will support Bobby Kennedy in all of these endeavors, and I will do so without hesitation and without regret. He's a great man. He's a great human being. And we are all better off with him in existence, simply put. So I thank you for listening. This is Mike Adams here, the Health Ranger, publisher of NaturalNews.com. And spread the word. Join me in supporting Children's Health Defense and the work of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He deserves our support. Thank you for listening. I know you have a lot of choices of where to get your superfoods and supplements, personal care products, and so on. To find all these solutions and more, just go to healthrangerstore.com/MAGA, M-A-G-A. healthrangerstore.com/MAGA, as in Make America Great Again. You'll find hundreds of solutions there that can enhance and help protect your health. Again, that's healthrangerstore.com/MAGA. At the Health Ranger Store, we are a pro-liberty, pro-life, pro-freedom, pro-America manufacturer and direct distributor. We sell direct to customers, offering extraordinary values on these products. Lab tested and verified. We test all of our products for bacteria, E. coli, salmonella, yeast and mold, heavy metals, lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, much more. Also glyphosate, and herbicide and other pesticides and herbicides are being added to our testing procedure to make sure that we bring you safe, verified, clean supplements that you just don't get anywhere else. I mean, Amazon.com is a joke compared to us. The Wall Street Journal even did a story exposing the thousands of contaminated, illegal, banned, toxic supplements and products that Amazon sells. We wouldn't sell that because we have ethics, we have morality, we're honest, we have integrity as a manufacturer and a provider of these products. Check us out, healthrangerstore.com. Over 700 different products are available right now. High-end supplements, superfoods, personal care products, even fragrance-free products that are eco-friendly for your home, such as laundry detergent, body soap, dishwasher detergent, and many other products. You'll find just an incredible assortment at healthrangerstore.com. And most importantly, your purchases there help support our ongoing efforts to spread the message of liberty and freedom and pro-life, respecting life in all its forms, and having a nation and a world that operates with ethics and morality, so that we might have a sustainable human civilization, not one that's collapsing in destitution and suffering, which is what the radical left and the communists want to bring about. So support us, and we support humanity. HealthRangerStore.com. I thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at HealthRangerStore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at HealthRangerStore.com.